I think what was important to us and to me was that we brought a kind of lens into that conversation that we felt would make people think a little bit differently, and that was very much true to our gap view of the world, because there are a lot of resources to help comms people communicate about the climate crisis, but there aren't many that do it through the lens of compassion. And as you know, we firmly and passionately believe that unless we speak with compassion about compassion, we're never going to solve the climate crisis. So it was just great to have an opportunity to influence the way that climate comms are done, and to try and share that conversation and kind of invite feedback on that conversation when there's a particular point of view that we hold very dearly.
Yeah, and I think there's so many accidental pitfalls that you can fall down without even realising that you're doing it when you're communicating about climate, about environmental issues generally. And something we talk a lot about, as you know, at GAP, is around this idea of a values perception gap, the fact that, you know, when you ask people, most people now are pretty knowledgeable about climate change. People, you know, are concerned, they're worried, they care. But we have this sense that other people don't care as much as we do. And then that can stop us from acting as much as we want to, because we don't want to seem like the slightly strange person that's banging on about climate all the time, or, you know, always doing the ecologically friendly thing and worried about becoming looking a bit too worthy and a bit too preachy, and worried other people don't care as much as we do. And I think the way we can communicate it can either help to, you know, break that myth and actually bring people together and show that, you know, we do all care and we want to come together as communities to take action, or we can accidentally reinforce it by making people think, yeah, you know, it's only people like me that want to take part in campaigns like this, and actually, you know, others don't. So I think, you know, we've got to be really careful to make it feel like something that everybody, you know, wants to take part in and cares about. So I think that's why it's so important to me, because I think, you know, we can accidentally do things that are not helpful.
And actually, what's interesting is that helps us as communicators as well, because quite often we sort of get a bit bogged down in kind of segments, and, you know, these people feel this and the red wall people feel that, and, you know, it can become quite complicated, and we haven't got many tools. Most of us aren't huge charities. So actually, once we conclude that there's one thing we have all got in common, that we are all feeling compassion and we're all compassionate people, it actually brings together a really collective mindset for us as communicators to kind of target and speak into, a positive one and a fairly universal one, which just makes it much easier to be climate communicators, if we just always remember that ultimately everybody really inside themselves is caring, is worrying, and we can speak to that care.
Yeah, and we don't have to bribe them into it either by offering, you know, go take part in this and be entered into a prize draw, or
here's your medal.
Here's your medal, well done. You know, we don't necessarily need those extrinsic motivators, and actually they can again be doubly harmful, you know, even when we're communicating in a way like, you know, save money by doing the environmentally thing, you know, can be communicating that the only reason people would do this because it's going to save them money, or because they're going to get, you know, a medal for taking part, or they're going to be entered in a prize draw for taking part. It reinforces that idea that people are just really self-interested and they're not really going to take part in it. And the other way it can be undermining is that actually when we are truly intrinsically motivated to take part in something because we care about it, having those extrinsic kind of motivators can actually undermine you know, our intrinsic motivation. So I was going to do it anyway, but all right, give me a medal. I don't really need it.
And I'm not going to do it next time if you don't give me a medal, because medals are super important to me.
It just feels a bit weird, doesn't it? You know,
it does feel really weird.
So it can almost be a little bit undermining. Just, you know, really we need to trust that people out there want to take part and, you know, become part of the solution. You know, they want to be armed with the facts. They want to, you know, have a positive impact, and they don't need to be bribed into doing so. And yeah, it can accidentally reinforce that idea that people are a bit selfish and don't want to, and that and we know that's actually not true.